Time to wake up. Time to start growing again. And it's starting to. The lawn and the soil is starting to thaw out, and it's time to start cleaning things up, getting final plans made, and time to start going on the lawn this season. I'm excited. Quiet, please. Quiet, please. They don't know. So today what I want to do is just kind of walk around a little bit, talk about what my plans are, what I'm going to do today, and talk about an idea that I have for the front yard. For those of you that have been following know that I had a little accident over here. Not a huge deal, but I do have a plan in place, and I have a backup plan idea that I might be implementing here in the near future as well. Also going to be taking a soil sample today and sending that off as soon as possible so that I can really fine-tune what products I'm going to be using and other strategies as well to make the lawn its best and to get it looking really good this year. I'm excited to get back to work and excited to show you what's going on. Let's get started. But I did overseed these areas, and I did kind of put seed out throughout the whole front lawn at the same time. So the idea there is with that dormant seeding, that will grow in hopefully as things start to warm up and as I start getting water on the lawn. We have had a couple snow events, which is pretty promising, but I'm still pretty skeptical as to how this is going to turn out. But I do have a backup plan and something that I might just try anyways. So the idea that I had was to take the PROPLUGGER tool. If you haven't seen this, you're missing out. It's not just used for plugging lawns, but I use it to put in new tulip bulbs in the fall every year, and it just makes it so easy. And if I do decide to do this, I'll be sure to showcase it in a video, but essentially you can take as many plugs as will fill the tube here, and then you can just pour them out, and then you can, you know, fill in the holes with the plugs you created and easily plug areas or plant flowers or bulbs, things like that. So I want to take this PROPLUGGER and grab some good grass plugs from an area over here on the north side of my house and transfer them into the dead area here and see how that goes. I think it would benefit me for a few reasons. Number one, it would bring good grass into a dead space that will be able to fill in as I mow it and fertilize it and water it. It would also bring in some green color that would replace the dead stuff. And yeah, overall I just think it would, you know, look better and kind of speed things up a little bit. Any seed that takes, all the better. So I think it would be better to implement two strategies to fix this issue here that I created rather than just one strategy that might not even work. You know, obviously two is better than one, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. So let me know down in the comments what you think, if you agree with that strategy, if you think it's something I should try, and we'll kind of see how it goes. So look forward to that in a future video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you are so that you can follow along and see how this turns out and other things that I do throughout the season. Should be a lot of fun. Now, yes, it's still a bit early to, you know, turn on the water, throw down fertilizer, all that stuff, but it's a good time to think about testing the soil, figuring out what the soil actually needs, and going from there. Also, I have some cleanup to do. Usually there's still snow left over here. This is the north side of my house. Usually there's still snow left in this area over here where it's shaded. That's melted The ground is still a little hard, especially compared to the area that gets full sun. There is an area in the backyard too that gets some snow by the fence there on the north side of the fence line. But I do have some cleanup to do. This is kind of the catch-all for our street. We get a lot of debris, some tree parts, some mulch parts, doo-doo. I hate that. So I've got some cleanup to do as well, but I want to talk about soil testing and show you my soil sample and my test results when they come as well, and just kind of talk about that part of the plan too. So I'm super excited to test my soil again. I tested it twice a couple years ago, once in the fall and the spring. I did some videos around that. If you want to go check those out, you're more than welcome to. And I want to see how the changes I've made since then have influenced my soil and its structure and what nutrients are available there over the last year or so. I want to see how that's affected things. So I'm going to be doing another soil test again. I'm going to be using the Yard Mastery test. This is made by the folks over at My Soil, and it's a very similar testing method and strategy to the tests that I've used in the past. So I'm anxious to see the results and to kind of keep continuity between testing methods and things like that, and see what adjustments I need to make going forward. So I'll go ahead and open the box up here, get into the basics of how the test works, what you need to do, and what happens on the back end, and what the results look like. Alright, so inside the box we've got registration information and instructions on what to do and how to do it. Very nice. Got prepaid return packaging. So getting into the box, you have your sample container. This is just deionized water, and then if you look on the inside there, there's a little ball kind of floating around in there, and that is an ion exchange resin capsule, and that's designed to absorb the nutrients from the soil that you put into this capsule and basically act like a simulated root system. To put it in simpler terms, it's going to absorb the nutrients that are available in your soil. So then once the lab receives this sample from you, they're going to pull that capsule out of there, and then they're going to clean it off, and they're going to analyze all the nutrients that it's absorbed from your soil and be able to provide you the data that you need so that you know what's going on in the lawn, what products you can choose. They'll even recommend products from the Yard Mastery website because of this awesome partnership, so that you don't have to really do much more research. You already know what products you need to get. You can go ahead and buy them, have them delivered right to your door. Super easy. Alright, so there you go. It's really just as easy as that. I will look forward to the results coming here in the next week or so, give or take, and having a little more in-detail video on the actual analysis and how that translates to what products I'm going to be applying to the lawn this year. So pretty cool, pretty simple thing you can do. Something I definitely recommend doing. Just going and buying stuff straight off the shelf at the store can give you results, but it's not necessarily going to give you what the lawn needs. And that's really the whole idea, is giving the lawn what it needs and avoiding those nutrients that it already has. So just a couple of quick tips to wrap things up here. Make sure that you haven't applied any products to the lawn 30 to 60 days before you take your soil samples. You don't want any nutrients from the products that you've applied to affect the sample that you pull and distort your analysis. So make sure that you have that window, and give yourself time in advance before you figure out what products you're going to buy, or before you go to the store. I've talked about this in a video before, you can check that out as well. But make sure that you give yourself enough room to get your results and then figure out what products you're going to buy. The last thing I would say is follow the instructions. I think that's a given, but hey, you never know. They do recommend getting 7 to 10 soil samples for every area that you're testing. So I went ahead and got about 7 or 8 samples in the front yard, and then I got about 8 to 10 in the backyard too. Mixed them all together, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm really looking forward to getting results. I think this is a really exciting time of the year, and it's the time where I get to pick what products I'm going to put down and what's really going to be benefiting things around here. So make sure, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, that you are, so you can know what my results are. And I'll do a whole video going through those and kind of walking you through my thought process and strategy for how I'm gonna get the lawn in top shape this year. So lots to come, very excited, can't wait. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Quiet, please.